Yo, what is going on, guys, fans and coaches of the ASL? My name is Sucho322 here, and it feels great to be back, guys. I'm bringing you guys ASL Season 6 Week 1 weekly recap. And if you guys don't know what this series is, I'm going to be breaking down how the week went throughout this first week in the ASL. This is technically the 5th season that I've done this, but we did 2 seasons ago. We went ahead and did at least I think it was 2 seasons ago. It might have been last season. I don't know. Anyways, where we recapped season 1. So yeah, we have weekly recap throughout every season of the ASL. This season is no different. And here on a Wednesday, every Wednesday throughout the entire season, even through playoffs, I'll be bringing you guys a weekly recap video. And yeah, let's just go ahead and start getting into this video. I will say that there is one forfeit. It is the Seattle Toka Tomorrows versus Jersey Justice game. I will get into that when we get there. But as you can see, we have a 4-0, 3-0, 3-0, 2-0, 4-0, 2-0, 4-0. And our weekly heroes of the week, which if you guys don't know what weekly heroes are mons that outperformed more than normal. Like, they really had a huge impact on the game. They got a lot of kills. And yeah, so yep. That's going to be it. We have Megalodios, Star Raptor, Suicune, and Coon Black for those spots. And let's just go ahead and get into the first game. So, for the first game, we have the Wenters Weavile taking on the Denver Nummels. And Demaster, despite going 1-12 last season, he's going to start out with a powerful 4-0 victory. So good on him. He was rated as the best coach coming out of the draft with his draft. It was just based on his draft. And Coon Black is one of the weekly heroes for this week, picking up 3 kills, being an absolute monster in this matchup. And let's go ahead and get into it. So Vish is going to lead out with his Fortress as Demaster leads with his Nidoqueen. Demaster not messing around turn 1. He's going to go for the Flamethrower as Vish is going to opt to set up rocks. Now Vish is going to reveal the leftovers, and he's just going to decide to sack off his Fortress. He deems that there's not much usefulness left on it. And Mega Kang is going to come out. It's going to click Curse, as Nidoqueen is going to try and set up some Toxic Spikes. So Demaster is then going to fire off a Sludge Wave, trying to break this thing down. And the Kangaskhan goes for a return, which does a lot, but it puts the Nidoqueen into Salic Berry range, which he was going to outspeed anyways. And the Kang is able to get off a rest. So Demaster is just going to go right out into a Superior, wants to preserve his Nidoqueen to potentially have some breaking power later in the game. And Vish is going to get Sleep Talk Rest, which is a little unfortunate. And it looks like Demaster actually genned his Superior wrong. Or not genned, but he built his Superior wrong. So that's really, really unfortunate for him. That's going to affect this a lot. That probably makes it so he wants to just sack off his Superior now. Get off a Leech Seed, because there's really no point in having this thing around with it being Overgrow. So out comes the Coon Black. Coon Black wants to put on some pressure. And with the Leech Seed being there, it can. The Sub-Zero Slammer is not even going to kill this Kangaskhan, though. But it does. This Ice Beam is likely to 2-shot, but Demaster's just going to go for the Fusion Bolt. An interesting play. I guess he was expecting the Gyarados to come out, but he's just going to keep Fusion Bolting here. And I mean, I guess it's working because Vish is getting Sleep Talk Rest and Sleep Talk Curse. That Curse is not going to help him live this monstrous Coon Black's Fusion Bolt, helped by the Leech Seeds. So Comfey is going to come out and goes right out into Gyarados. Demaster just doesn't care. He's just going to Fusion Bolt it. Vish tried to make the swap there, predicting something like the Nidoqueen to come out. That just isn't the case. And the Comfey is going to try and set up a Calm Mind. It's going to do a lot to Coon Black. It's an easy 2-shot, but Free Shock is going to kill in conjunction with the Poison. And this Coon Black is a force to be reckoned with at this point. Zydoge is going to go for the 1,000 Arrows, and Coon Black just goes for the Free Shock. So interesting to see what Demaster's other moves were. It might have just been Fusion Bolt, Free Shock, and then other moves. So out comes the Mew, and Mew can pretty much pick off the last 2 members at this point. It is a Calm Mind variant, and at this point Demaster can click Ice Beam, he can click Psychic, he can just keep Calm Minding until he's at a range where he knows he kills. So Mew is going to lose its leftovers, but it does have a high likelihood of having something like Roost or Recover. Or Soft Boiled, not Recover. And the Mew does go for the Roost here. I really don't know what Demaster's going for at this point. I mean, he already wins the game with Psychic, so he's going to click Psychic there. The Zydoge is going to come out. Zydoge does not kill, even Bandit Outrage. I don't know if that was banded, but even banded outrage wouldn't have killed in that situation. And Mew's going to be able to pick off the last 2 members. So Demaster is going to pick up a nice and powerful 4-0 victory week 1 as Vish is going to take his first L of the season. Our season 2 champion, might I add. So for the second match, we have our one of our new teams, the Chicago Conch Elders, taking on the Aussie Kangaskhan's, and EN is going to prevail with a 3-0 victory in this match. No weekly heroes, but still a lot of kills coming out from both sides, and let's hop into it. So we have Rotom Wash taking on a Tornadus, heavily favoring the Rotom here, but EN can just go for the U-turn, go right out into that Raikou. Raikou is going to be able to soak up hits very, very comfortably. But Rotom is going to go for the Will-O-Wisp and reveal that it is a Leftovers variant. So Raikou goes for the Volt Switch, doing tremendous damage to this Rotom. And EN is going to go into his Palossand, and it looks like he's going to double here as he goes into Altaria. And unfortunately for Dave, he's going to go ahead and miss that Hydro Pump. And Rotom is going to go for the Will-O-Wisp, and EN goes for the Facade. So EN bringing the heat this match. Such a good play from him. Expecting the Willow to be the case, and this puts Dave in a disadvantage if he's trying to swap into that Facade. But Stakataka is going to get a Toxic off, and Palossand is going to set up the rocks. But the Big Bird is in as EN is going to send out his Raikou. This is not going to appreciate it considering that was resisted and Raikou has good special defense. Mega Pidgeot hits like a truck. It's going to go for the Protect here, just wanting to scout out what EN is trying to go for. And since Dave has probably calced and seen that this is a Choice Scarf, I'm pretty sure this is Choice Scarf Raikou from the damage. He goes out into Stakataka and then sets his rocks up. He's playing very passively with his Stakataka, but he has to at this stage with Palossand being so healthy. And Palossand is going to go for what I would assume to be the Hidden Power Ice, as the Aromatisse is going to come out. And Aromatisse can just go ahead and fire off a Moonblast here, which does a good amount to this Torrentee, and Torrentee is forced to U-turn out immediately. It does not want to take that much damage from that Moonblast, as Moonblast is going to do another good chunk to this Slowbro. So Aromatisse actually pressures EN's team decently. He does have the ability to set up a Calm Mind here though, and Stakataka is not going to be able to break this thing. It is going to be able to get off a Toxic to prevent a potential sweep coming out here from a Slowbro. So Dave is at least going to put this thing on a timer, make sure that this is not the reason that he loses the game. And then out comes the Aromatisse, and Cobalion is going to be the swap in here. So even if Aromatisse went for a Moonblast, Cobalion would have been able to take it, but this just means that EN can set up a Moonblast, or not set up a Moonblast, but set up a Swords Dance. And now it's just going to go for the Corkscrew Crash. Dave probably expecting the Z move to come out and wanted to just save his Aromatisse for later. He can now go into his Infernape and go ahead and click his Vacuum Wave. Did not want to risk the Speed Tie there. Really no point when Vacuum Wave kills anyways. And now Infernape is going to go for the Grass Knot, which now he's going to go for what I would assume to be the Vacuum Wave again. He does go for the Vacuum Wave, as Torn is going to be sitting in here. And the Torn is going to go for a Hurricane. It does miss. That's what Torn does. It just misses Hurricanes. It's going to go for a Hurricane here. And Torn is going to be getting knocked dangerously low. Aromatisse is going to be able to get off the Moonblast, kill the Tornadus. At least prevent the 6-0 for now. And Cobalion is going to go for the Iron Head. Drops the Aromatisse. And out comes the Zygarde. And EN's got to be worried about this thing setting up, because it's got... If it has like Corkscrew Crash, Iron Tail, there is a chance that this thing will sweep him right now. Depends. And it's going to set up another Dragon Dance as EN does fire off the Hidden Power Ice. And we will see if this Palossand is able to take it. Zygarde is going to go for the Dragonium Z and is going to just nuke this thing. Out comes the Slowbro, which is probably going to be able to eat this up. 1,000 arrows, not even doing half. Slowbro is a monster. And so Infernape is going to be able to come out here. Infernape is going to go for the Grass Knot. EN's just going to sack it off. He's going to go ahead and go into his Altaria afterwards, which is definitely going to kill with a Facade. Dave's got to hope for a Supreme Mega Crit, but that is not going to be the case. And EN is going to take a nice 3-0 victory on the back of Facade Mega Altaria. Very good set, might I add. And moving into the third game of the week, we have the Portland Timbers taking on the Hartford Whalmers. And TCP was able to take this victory having Megalodios be one of the weekly heroes, picking up 5 kills and absolutely decimating my team. And yeah, let's go ahead and hop into it. So we're going to see a Megalopony and a Milotic lead. I'm going to go ahead and swap out, not wanting to face up against a Rocky Helmet Milotic. And Milotic is going to go for the Toxic. So out comes the Florges, which is going to take this Energy Ball from Primarina very, very well. It is physically defensive Florges. And I make the double into Steelix as TCP makes a double into my Milotic. Very good double. As Mismagius is going to come out, Mismagius is going to click a nasty plot, but TCP does go into the Darmanitan, wanting to put on some offensive pressure. As Latios is going to come in, takes the Flare Blitz, not too terribly. And Darm is going to be forced out, looking to be choice locked in. And Latios goes for the Wish, trying to heal the Mismagius back up, but the Milotic is going to Toxic the Mismagius coming in. And Mismagius is going to go for the nasty plot again. Milotic is going to do a really good chunk of damage with this Scald here. And then Mismagius goes for the Energy Ball, gets a crit, doing big, big damage for the floor, just going to be weakening it for the late game. And then Mismagius is going to go for the Shadow Ball on the Protect. And we will see another Shadow Ball, or we won't, from the double Protect coming out from Florges, clutching up when it needs to. And yeah, so that was a 50-50 right there. And Megalopony is going to come out. It's going to go for the Fake Out, because Fake Out plus Return will be able to kill this Florges. So we'll be sitting at 5-5 at this stage, but TCP does opt to save his Florges, goes into the Milotic, which takes a good chunk of damage from this Megalopony. And Primarina is going to come out trying to pressure this Milotic in any way it can. And TCP does go for the recover there. Might have underestimated how much, or overestimated how much speed I have on my Primarina there. But gonna go out into the Bisharp, just trying to set up a Swords Dance and put on some pressure here. So Bisharp does go for the Swords Dance, as Milotic is gonna go for the Scald. Doesn't get a burn, and Bisharp is gonna do a chunk of 65 damage to this Milotic. And TCP was really prepared for Swords Dance Bisharp, as he does have the Haze. And he's gonna recover up. Bisharp is gonna try and chunk this thing down yet again. It's not going to be the case. Bisharp is going to go for it all, going for the Iron Head flinch. It does get it, and Milotic is in a really bad spot right now. TCP is going to take this knockoff of this Florges, and then is just going to sack it off to the Iron Head. And out comes the Magneton, possibly trying to trap Bisharp in, as he does go for the Hidden Power Fighting. He was actually sturdy, but I had the whatever it's called, Shed Shell. But anyways, Latios is going to go for the Wish, as this is a dual screens Magneton. Going to Wish into Megalopony just so it comes in and it's at 100%. Megalodios is going to come out and just going to go hard Primarina, as TCP is going to go ahead and crit the Primarina. Primarina would have lived. It would have gotten easily 2-shot, however. And Megalopony is going to come out, go for Fake Out. And at this point, I'm just trying to get rid of the screens, because the screens make it so I can't do anything. So, yeah, TCP is going to make my life miserable right now. Steelix is going to go down to 2 Hidden Power Fighting. It's going to go into Latios, click Protect, and then go out into Bisharp, because now, after this turn, these screens will be gone for now. So Megalodios just claimed 3 lives, and out comes the Megalopony, which will 2-shot Fake Out plus Return. So Fake Out is going to go onto Milotic. TCP is choosing to sack his Milotic now. And Megalodios is going to come out now. I'm going to go into Latios, predicting the Psychic move, and Latios is not going to attack on this turn. It's going to go for the Protect, and then it is a speed tie, which Megalodios is going to win. So the second 50-50 he's got in this match. Megalopony is going to go for the Fake Out, but he is not going to risk his Megalodios here. He's going to just sack off his Diggersby, and then go right back out into his Megalodios and wrap this game up 3-0, as Megalopony did not get a crit on the return. Unfortunate. But yeah, that is going to be the game. 3-0 victory for the Hartford Whalmers. Then for the, I believe, 4th game, we have the Utah Hoots and the PC Barcelona in a very, very close nail-biter game. Staraptor just put on the pressure against Susie's team. It got 3 kills. And I would think I would be saying that about Mamoswine, because Mamoswine destroys Shadow's team through and through. But you guys will see. So we have Celebi against Empoleon, so it's kind of a neutral lead at this point. Susie's just going to go ahead and go into his Dragalge, wants to go ahead and Sludge Wave this Celebi as it sets up a Swords Dance, and Celebi is going to pass this Swords Dance out into the Sharpedo as Empoleon is going to come out. Empoleon is going to live the Earthquake due to its Shuckle Berry, and Empoleon is going to go for the Defog. So Suzy just doesn't care at all. In all honesty, he doesn't care that there's this threat sitting in front of him. So out comes Beware. I was a little concerned for Suzy watching this match, but Shadow doesn't actually have Psychic Fangs, and Psychic Fangs wouldn't even kill. Beware is taking a +2 Earthquake from a Mega Sharpedo like an absolute champ. He's going to one-shot back with Drain Punch. We're sitting at 5-5 right now. Not even Nidoking is able to kill, and Beware is going to get a nice 63% off. Beware is being an absolute monster right now. It's going to have to go down, and Mega Pinsir comes out to claim the kill on Nidoking. So very fast-paced game so far. But we do have Staraptor coming out to try and put on some pressure, as it's going to go for the Brave Bird. Coco is not too shot from that thing. It is Scarf Raptor. So Coco does go for the U-turn there, which is going to get Suzy into his Mega Pinsir, and he's just going to go for the Swords Dance here. So it's looking a little scary for Shadow, but Suzy's going to get up another Swords Dance, getting into Zeraora, and Suzy just wants big damage on that thing. It's going to do 62 with Quick Attack. Plasma Fist in the electric terrain is obviously going to just destroy that thing. Mamoswine finally makes its appearance. Suzy's going to go for the Crash, predicting the Staraptor to come out. And he's going to have to go into his Dragalge here as Shadow whips out the Natural Gift. The Natural Gift Apricot Berry turns it into a ground type move, so good on him. And the Staraptor is going to go for a Double Edge, and Mamoswine does live this Double Edge, bar a crit. So Suzy had this game 100% won. It's Scarf Raptor, so it just wins at this point. Suzy would have been able to go ahead, and it was Scarf Memo, so he would have Ice School crashed the Raptor. As Shadow goes Zeraora, he sacks off Coco, he goes back into Mamoswine, he clicks Earthquake, and gets the kill. So that would have all but wrapped it up for Suze, but Shadow's Staraptor had different Haxier plans, as Shadow is going to end up taking this game 2-0 from Suzy. So moving on to the next game. Okay, so while we're here, like I said, this is going to be a forfeit game. It was a little bit of a tricky situation because if you guys would remember, Gran had initially drafted this team. Gran was replaced after week 1. Again, I said it in the transactions video. We don't need to get into details, but Brett decided to take over as the Seattle Togedemaru's, and since the game had already been played versus Gran and Milan, and the game got voided, and it ended up being a forfeit for Milan. So that's just what happened. And since Milan's team was already revealed, there's no point in having them replay. So we're just gonna leave it as a 4-0 for Milan. So congrats on the win this week. And next up, we have the Houston Hoopas and AZ taking on the Philadelphia Flygons and Coach White Ferret. And nice new logo coming out from AZ here. Nice and powerful Hoopa Unbound. But yeah, anyways, looking at weekly heroes for this week, or for this match, there are none. It's still not a bad match to watch, so let's go ahead and hop into it. We have Scrafty taking on Mega Metacham. And Mega Metacham really doesn't care about the Intimidate drop. It's still going to scare out the Scrafty, as AZ just goes for a high jump kick with the Intimidate drop. The Claydol eats that up pretty well, as out comes the Granbull on the Shadow Ball. And, ooh, excuse me. The Granbull's going to fire off a Super Fang as Claydol sets up the rocks. And Vikavolt is going to come out on the Toxapex, so Ferret's going to make a nice double that's going to reward him nicely, but he's going to make the HP Ice play, expecting the Lando T, which was a little bit of an overprediction there, as AZ expected him to overpredict and just stayed in. So he's going to go for the Toxic now, which we don't see a Lumberry coming out from Haxorus, which makes me think that it is Z-move or Scarfed. Ferret is going to go for the Swords Dance, so now I think it's Z-move. And Granbull's going to be sitting in here. It's going to take an Earthquake. Granbull does kill with the Play Rough, though. So Ferret might have gone a little too all out on that. But Celesteela is going to come in, goes for the Flash Cannon. It's going to get its Beast Boost in special attacks. So this is going to be an offensive variant of Celesteela. So out comes Claydol. It is going to be 2-shot, like double edge. It's double edge Mega Medicham. Like that's unheard of. Anyways, Toxapex is going to come out on the Sylveon. And the Hyper Voice is only going to do 15%. Absolute pitiful. Great nickname by AZ, by the way. That's a really good nickname. But the Scald is not going to burn onto the Celesteela. And AZ is going to try and pressure this thing out with Incineroar. But Celesteela comes in and clicks a Totemize. Then goes for the Tectonic Rage, which doesn't actually kill. And the Fire Punch is going to be able to kill the Celesteela. I don't know if the crit mattered. Depends on sets. And then Scrafty is going to come in, go for the Fake Out. And then Incineroar goes for the Drain Punch. But Scrafty can knock off, which doesn't kill. And it's going to be proven that it is an Assault Vest Incineroar. So it's going to get a little bit more chip on Scraggy. Because Ferret apparently doesn't have a Fighting type move. I got to guess. And he's going to go into his Sylveon now. And just soak up that Drain Punch. As he's going to try and have the Toxic do the dirty work for him. And he's going to double out into Scrafty. Just get another Intimidate drop on him. I figure he'd rather lose his item on Scrafty than Sylveon. That's the only reason I could see him making that play. He's going to go into his Landorus, click Swords Dance. Ferret is packing the Ice Punch. But Landorus is going to go for the Supersonic Sky Strike. At +2 is going to absolutely obliterate the Scrafty. And this Sylveon is going to have a tough time taking it. But it doesn't matter because it is Scarf Sylveon. But this gives a free swap into Toxapex. And there's not much that stops Toxapex plus Tyrantrum from winning this game. Toxapex is just going to go for the Baneful Bunker. And then out comes the Mega Medicham, which does not live this Thunderbolt. So AZ just wanted to sack it off because now he can get a free swap out into his Tyrantrum. As Sylveon comes out, Head Smash is just going to one-shot that thing. Goodbye. Does not need to be here. And then is going to one-shot the Vikavolt. So Tyrantrum getting a nice little cleanup in that game. And yeah, AZ is going to pick up a nice little 2-0 Week 1 victory. And for the last match that we have to show you guys this week, wow, this video went by really quick. Normally vids are like 35 minutes long, and we're at like 22 minutes right now. There's quick, fast-paced matches in this. But anyways, for the last match, we have one more weekly hero, which is Suicune, picking up 3 kills. Really ripped apart Malone's team as TJ got a very powerful 4-0 victory. Probably one of the best way he can start on his road to defending his throne as the reigning champion of the ASL. So let's see it. We have Archeops taking on Donphan. And Archeops is going to go for U-turn as Donphan. Probably just wants to set up some rocks turn 1. As Donphan is going to go for the rocks. And Suicune is going to go for the Scald. Donphan for some reason stays in and goes for the Toxic. So Malone is sacking off one of his best Mega Gallade answers early. So he might have plans with this Slurpuff to actually take on the Mega Gallade there. But this Slurpuff is going to go for these Sticky Webs. And it is going to get burned in the process by Suicune. So Suicune is already doing so much. It's going to go for the rest just to get rid of the Toxic. As the Slurpuff is going to go for the Wish. And is probably going to try and wish up the Donphan. And TJ is going to go into his Registeel. And Malone actually goes into his Kartana. So this Registeel probably has Hidden Power Fire. As Malone goes for the Sacred Sword. And no, it's just going to go for the rocks. So Malone is going to go for a Leaf Blade. Predicting something to come out. But yeah, Kartana is going to get bodied. Malone is going to over-predict there, and he's going to be heavily, heavily punished for it. I truly don't know why he would Leaf Blade there, because he's going to outspeed whatever comes in that isn't called Archeops, but that still takes big damage from Secret Sword and knocks it into Defeatist range. So, interesting play, I would just say. But TJ is going to be unfortunate and get a Sleep Talk Rest. So Thundurus is going to be free to pressure whatever it wants. It's going to go ahead and set up a nasty plot here, and TJ is in big, big trouble. As Malone is going to go for the all-out pummeling, which just destroys this Sandslash. And then out comes the Archeops, which is definitely not living this, but it outspeeds the Thundurus and is not affected by Sticky Webs, which is very, very helpful. So out comes a Selgor as Archeops wants to try and kill that thing, but it's not going to outspeed, and Malone can fire off something like a Water Shuriken. TJ really doesn't need to risk it. Malone is trying to win this game with hazards at this point. He's going to final gambit the Mega Gallade, so not bad on his part. And honestly, at this point, it looks like his win con is... It looks like Thundurus, knock, Archeops. He's got to get rid of Archeops, and then Thundurus can win. But Ribombi is going to take a lot of damage from hazards. It's going to be slowed down quite a bit. The Slurpuff is going to go for a Wish here, as Sticky Webs are going to go up on Malone's side. That doesn't really hurt him, honestly, because he's going to have to try and win with Thundurus anyways, so yeah, it doesn't really matter. And Slurpuff is just going to go for a Yawn again, which is going to annoy the Registeel into swapping out again. But TJ's just going to opt to go for the Flash Cannon and do some big damage, as Registeel is now sleeping, so this gives Malone a free opportunity to go into his Thundurus and try and put some pressure on, but he's going to stay in Dazzling Gleam. Yep, so he's going to Wish Up now, as this Registeel is going to go for the Flash Cannon, and Malone is going to keep yawning this Registeel, and he's just going to try and wear this thing down with this Slurpuff. Thundurus does wear this thing down so much better, and Registeel is getting a lot of health back at this point. Ribombi is going to be the Mon to come out. It's going to take 37% due to hazards. The Wish is going to come up, and Malone is just staying in. He just doesn't care. He's going to keep staying in with this Slurpuff, using this Yawn set. Not a bad set at all. I really wish he'd go aggressive into Thundurus at some point, because it offers him so much to go out into Thundurus. He could have made the Thundurus swap so many times by using Yawn, but it's just not going to be the case. He's going to go into Thundurus now. He's going to hope that it's a Sleep Talk Rest. It is a Sleep Talk Rest, so he's going to get lucky with that one. He's going to go for the Volt Switch. So he's running Volt Switch with a Nasty Plot set. Maybe he was just trying to Nasty Plot Volt Switch. He was just trying to like set up and then nuke something. I think Thunderbolt might have been a little bit better there, but you never know what his actual thought process is in this game. So Suicune is going to set up the rest, or just go for the rest, and Magmortar does go for the Belly Drum, but the issue is with hazards being up, even if that Scald didn't come off, the Magmortar would have only gotten one kill, and then Archeops just comes in and kills it. And out comes this Slurpuff, which is going to go for the Wish, and I really hope that Malone goes out into Thundurus, but he doesn't, and he's going to let the Wish go to waste. Malone really needed to go out into his Thundurus there. He's going to click Nasty Plot now, and because he's so low, he's just not going to be able to live any hits. And so yeah, Volt Switch does look to be his only electric type move. So TJ is going to win this battle 4-0, so props to him for winning the game. Suicune putting on a lot of pressure. The Water Dog making a very strong appearance. So that is going to be the video, guys. Thank you guys all for watching, and again, it's great to be back doing weekly recaps. Transactions went up yesterday. Weekly recap goes up today. There's nothing on Thursday. You guys got top plays with TCP on Friday. Excuse me, Gran got replaced and also stepped down from the YouTube team, so TCP took over for him. And then on Saturday you got Power Rankings, and then Sunday FA Showcase or Free Agent Showcase. So look out for those videos, guys. Subscribe so you know exactly when those videos go up. Leave a like, and yeah, thank you guys all for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.